was 9 years old, I had a dream about a cat that was running loose in my house. The dream was more humorous than anything, even though it was very dark in the dream, with the hallway in my house only being lit by a small nightlight. The dream was fun because I was always trying to catch this cat. It was too dark to see the cat well, but eventually I cornered it in the hall and tried to grab it. It seemed to have just stopped entirely right in front of the nightlight in my hallway. When I picked it up to look at it, I immediately woke up. I was covered in blood. It was on my shirt, pillow, sheets, and hands. Apparently I had a nosebleed when I was asleep, and it had run down my pillow onto my clothes because I was lying on my side. I ran to the bathroom and grabbed some toilet paper and held it to my nose, trying to get the blood to clot. I had been used to nosebleeds through my life. My dad was still asleep, and it was 4 a.m., so I didn't want to bother him. It was a full hour before I got my nose to quit bleeding. I was pretty lightheaded, but I started getting ready for school anyway, because it was too late to go back to sleep. During that school day, I kept thinking about the cat, because something about the dream was starting to make me feel uneasy. I kept trying to remember what the cat looked like, because I knew for a fact from what I could see in my dream, it wasn't one of my cats. I had 4 at the time. It wasn't until my dad picked me up from school that I got worried. He told me one of our cats, Ted, had died. My mother would get home around 8 a.m. because she worked the night shift. She didn't have to work the next night, so she decided to stay up for a while. She was holding Ted and watching TV when she decided to go upstairs and lay down. Ted got up first and ran to the steps. She followed behind him until she hit the top of the steps and noticed he was lying perfectly still in the hallway, right under the nightlight. When I heard that point of the story, I started crying. I was really scared at that point, but my dad just thought I was sad that the cat had died. While I was sad, I was more disturbed that the cat in my dream quit moving right where my cat had died. That night I had trouble sleeping. It was nearly 1 a.m. before I finally managed to get my cat to calm down to the point where I could sleep. It was at this point I had made my dream with nearly the same environment as the previous one, with the upstairs of my house, but I was the only one there. It was completely dark except for the nightlight in the hallway. Lying underneath the nightlight was the cat from my previous dream. This time, however, I got a perfect look at it. It had the face of what I can only describe as looking like a barn owl. It was covered in completely sleek silver-colored fur, and most peculiar, it only had one leg. All of its other legs, but the back left leg, seemed to not just be part of it. It stood up on its one leg and opened its mouth to reveal a pair of fangs, larger than anything I have ever witnessed. Its mouth had opened to a point where it was truly shocking. Then I woke up. Although this deeply scared me at the time, I had no other incidences of this cat appearing in my dreams. It was 10 years' time, and in that time, my dad died of leukemia, 2 of my other cats had died, and we gained 3 new cats. My mom takes in cats like shit takes in flies. So my mom was at 4 cats once again. One day, I came home to visit from college to do some laundry. My mom had already left for work. I hit the top of the steps to go to the washing machine, and then my heart sank. My oldest cat, Shaft, was laying in the hallway on its side with his eyes closed, with his eyes wide open. His mouth was stretched open further than any other cat I had seen, except for the cat in my dreams. What made it even more eerie was the fact that he was laying under the same nightlight that my cat Ted had died under. I was freaked out, so I grabbed him in some towel, I dug a hole for him in the backyard and buried him. I called my mom and told her that I had found Shaft dead. I explained the way I had found him, and she told me he had probably had an aneurysm as well. I took the nightlight and told her later that I had accidentally dropped something and broke it. I didn't sleep for 2 days after that. I was seriously too freaked out to sleep in my mom's house. I drove back to my apartment even though I was tired enough that I could have run off the road and died. And I decided to go to sleep. Then I had a dream. I was back in the same place as all the other dreams. I was in my room. I was a kid again. And the nightlight was on. I looked into the hallway, and once again, the cat was there. This time, however, it wasn't missing 3 legs. The disturbing thing is that the 3 legs it was previously missing were there, and were black, the same color as my cat's shaft. Once again, it stood up, but this time, I didn't wake up. It opened its mouth like it did before, then it rose up on its hind 2 legs. With its mouth all the way open, it looked directly at me and spoke without moving its mouth at all. "Thank you for bringing me with you." Then I woke up. It has been less than a week since this has happened, so I'm kind of freaked out. I can only imagine what it was talking about, the nightlight. I've left the nightlight in my bag since I brought it home.